Let's talk to Sandra.
Okay.
Sandra Nasimiu and Valora James.
In just a little bit, Variety, the children's charity, will give you an update on how much money they made last weekend that we were involved with the big telethon here locally. 46 years they've been doing that, so we'll give you details on that. But Greg, you mentioned Hip Hope and something they have going on tomorrow, which is real exciting. And you have some guests you want to introduce everybody to.
Yes, Sandra Nasimiu is on my right over here. You're the youth keynote speaker.
Yes, I am.
And tell us about what the event, what's happening.
So at this event, it's the Young Women's Conference, and it's really to empower the young women of Des Moines to make sure they understand just how powerful their voices really are and the impacts that they make every day and how they can make an impact not only for themselves, but every woman in the future and the people around them.
Excellent.
Right.
And we also have Valora James. Hi, Valora. How are you doing?
I'm doing
You're the co-chair?
I am the co-chair.
All right.
Tell us, what does that entail?
So that entails a lot, right? So,
A lot. Just so you know, she does the majority of the work. No,
I wear a lot of hats in here, but I got an awesome team committee that helps. So,
How many people are going to be involved in this tomorrow?
so we have 275 young women registered, 50 mentors, and then we have like 69 volunteers, and then of course our little visitors and our keynote or our speakers and our keynote speakers as well.
Now, this is called Many Shades of Color, is that correct?
So Know Your Worth, Many Shades of Color, Young Women's Conference. Yeah.
Know Your Worth. And so how long of an event is this?
So it is from 8 to 9 is continental breakfast, and then 9 to 4 is the actual conference.
All right, so what are we going to be able to experience at this conference?
So Sandra summed it up very well, but we're going to experience, we just love on the kids. You know, we focus on knowing your worth academically, socially, financially, emotionally. We tie in some leadership components as well as community engagement components to get that networking piece in there. But the kids are going to experience some powerful keynote speakers. She's our youth keynote. We have Latricia Lewis that's coming in, and she'll be our adult keynote speaker, and then a host of workshop presenters that are amazing. So
how do they feel? What's the experience like? They come out of this, they're all jazzed, they're ready to go. What happens?
You know, as I've watched, so this is our 3rd year, and we've watched young women come up in there and they're kind of, you know, shy.
Yes.
At the end of it, they're blossom, they're open, they're like, okay,
do you really
I
see
got
that
this.
happen
Yes,
before your
you
very
do.
eyes?
Yes, you do.
What seems to be the trigger that releases that energy and releases that personality?
I think, well, we're upbeat, right? We like to have fun. On top of that, I think that they connect with other individuals, and now they know you're not alone. So, you know, they go through a whole bunch of different emotional situations throughout the thing, but then we have fun. So we have our presenters, we tell them, tell your story. Your story is important, right? And so now they don't feel like that they're alone. But then, once the presenters tell their story, other youth begin to tell their story. So I'm like, okay. So go meet a friend and meet another friend, but then you're watching all these powerful people and you're like, I can do this.
Exactly.
Which is why we bring in Miss Sandra, so that she can empower our youth to say, I can do this.
So one thing leads to another, which leads to another, and so on and so forth.
That's
As
correct.
they say. I understand you have a theme this year too, is that right?
Yes, it's I Rise. We're rising above. We're conquering all things.
All right.
What would you say are the primary problems that a lot of young women face now, today?
I think insecurity, problems, self-esteem, low self-esteem, self-love.
Do you think that's a cultural-based thing, or what do you think it is?
I think our young people are going through it just period. You know, social media has opened up so many avenues for bullying and things that look like, and you're like, oh, I want to be like that. No, we want you to be like yourself.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what we encourage them. Be yourself. Don't look to your left, don't look to your right. Focus on yourself, because it is what's within you. And so, yeah, I really think that social media has really triggered some of this.
And you're trying to obtain something that's not even real.
Yeah.
It's just,
That's a great way of looking at it.
Yeah.
You know, and when your real self is right in front of you, it's you.
Yes.
In the mirror, you look in the mirror, that's you.
And we want to see you.
Yeah, I agree.
We want you to be.
And Sandra, you were the keynote speaker. What are some of the things that you're going to be addressing in your presentation?
Well, I grew up here in Des Moines, and
Oh yeah, where?
I grew up over by Hoover High School.
Okay.
And then I moved over by Valley High School.
All right.
So yeah.
I'm just checking to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. All right, I've got this.
Okay.
And I've been through a lot of things in my life. I've lost both of my fathers within a span of a year, and a lot has happened. And the main message I want for young girls to understand is we are a lot more than the things that have happened to us. because in this time period, like, I've seen the downfall of a lot of people, and it's usually what's more important than your downfall is how you decide to pick yourself up, or if you even decide to pick yourself up for that factor.
That's right.
And I want them to understand that, like, I came from a very, very rough background. I'm a Kenyan immigrant, I'm a black woman, and I still found a way to rise, Maya Angelou, and still I rise every time.
Agreed.
And I want them to know that you will mess up constantly, because I'm very clumsy as it is, and I mess up a lot. But what I've done to make myself a better person defines everything for me. And I still remember every single one of my demons, but I also know I've conquered more than anyone can ever understand. And I want them to feel like, oh, I can do that too. Because like she said about the social media thing, we look at one person and we only get to see like these little snapshots of their life, and they always look so perfect. And in reality, for most of those pictures, they were probably edited, and you don't know that person probably cried and took about 10,000 of those photos before they got that perfect photo that they posted.
Right.
You know, and to have someone literally look at them and be like, I am what you should be thinking about. I'm the person who took the 10,000 photos, not the perfect photo that you saw. And understand that they can still be just amazing people, you know?
Right. Nobody wants perfect on this first step.
Perfect is so annoying.
That should be a bumper sticker. Perfect is annoying. But you said that you were down as low as you possibly could have been, but you pulled yourself back up. What gave you the strength and the courage to pull yourself back up?
Well, my mother, she has a very smart mouth on her, and she's a big advocate, and she believes in fighting for people. And after spending 5 years of watching my father lose his voice and like being mentally impaired and all the brain damage that happened to him, I realized sometimes we take for granted just the simplest things. And like being able to speak up for yourself and tell people what you want is so important. And I decided I wanted to speak up for things that mattered to me more and more and more. So I started getting involved in my school, in my community. And just through doing that, I slowly started to find like I could find happiness. Because I was always told that anger was a second emotion. But for me, I was like, no, I don't care. Anger is the first thing that happens. You can just be angry for no reason, but it's not true. And when I realized that I was letting my anger drive me into places it shouldn't be driving me, I decided to put my anger towards something that like was actually gonna give me a better lifestyle, like an actual dream that I could work towards and a goal that I could achieve. And so I did that, and I ended up even becoming my class speaker, and that's how she found me.
That is awesome. All right, give us details how we can get involved.
So the conference is it's hosted by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. I do have to give a shout out to my other sponsors as well. So Wells Fargo and Polk County Supervisor. Board of Supervisors.
Board of Supervisors are great people over there, yep.
Yes. And we're at Wellmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. It starts at between 8 and 9. We'll do our breakfast.
For the breakfast, yeah.
And then our 9 to 4 is the show. And you can go to hiphope.org to find out everything about, you know, the conference and about what Hip Hope does. So,
I love your logo too, by the way.
Well, thank you so much for coming
you.
in, and I think excellent choice for a keynote speaker.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you so much. It's
Thank
9
you.
minutes past 8 o'clock right now.